So the extended squads have been dropped. We're going to go through those. Welcome back to a preview podcast. Big game this week against the Pies. The Pies at home? No, not at home. Apparently it's a Pies home game at our home stadium. And contractually, they have to play one home game at Marvel every year. How stupid is that? Just play at their home stadium and we'll play at our home. Anyway, we should change the blue stripes to black just for this game to frustrate Eddie Maguire. I think that'd be funny. So it's a prison bar, the Melbourne jail or something like that. That'd be fun. Anyway, team news. Here we go. Ins. It's an extended squad. This isn't the final squad. I think we get that tomorrow, right? Anyway. In, Aiden Core. Ben Cunnington, Charlie Lazaro, and Cam Zurhaar. And out goes Liam Shields with concussion. I think Liam's the reason we lost the game last week, wasn't he? Because he came off as our 76th interchange. How are we all feeling about that, by the way? Have we all moved on? Is it still haunting our dreams? I know for me, way more positives to take. So I've sort of don't worry about the win and the loss. But we really just need to back that sort of performance up, don't we? Aiden Core, in. Now, I really, really hope that he stays as an emergency. And once again, I don't want to harp on the Aiden Core thing. We know my opinions on Aiden Core. But it's more about keeping the team in from last week's performance. Shields obviously has to come out. Zurhaar is named in on the starting 22, so Zurhaar will come back in. Other than that, I don't know. Who do you bring in and out? I guess I'll go through a couple of players that maybe I thought should be in and out, but going through the week, I've sort of changed my mind on those. I think I read on the podcast with admin number 2, I sort of was thinking maybe Spicer, Hall, Drury, and Howe out for Zurhaar, Tucker, Harvey, and Cunnington. Now, Phoenix Spicer is an interesting one because we really, really need a player like him. But we need a player like him that can contribute. And I kind of think, look, he laid like 6 tackles, but I guess a tackle technically just means you held on to them while they stopped. I'm not sure that I remember Phoenix Spicer driving anyone into the ground and bringing them to ground. But I guess it's a tackle nonetheless. I would love someone with some more production, but we have no one else on the roster to play that small forward role. He 50-50. If Spicer came out, I wouldn't be unhappy. But if he gets another run, I'd like to see him have a game where he kicks a couple and he looks lively just to get his confidence up. But he's one of those players that I think long-term maybe won't quite get there at AFL level. As much as I want him to, and here I am sitting in my spare room of my house not playing AFL football, so all credit to Phoenix. And look, those are the sort of players I love to watch. I'd love to see him using his pace and be able to kick goals, but we haven't quite got the production yet. Aaron Hall was fine. I mean, no one was really bad in that game on the weekend. I'm fine to keep Hall in, but if he comes out once again, not too concerned. I think maybe Tucker has a longer-term future, obviously, in this team. So that was more my change there. Blake Drury, last 2 games have been pretty poor. He's got a taste. Go back to the 2s, get that form back, and then come back and make a run in this team and stake your spot. Really cement yourself in that 22. I think he was poor on the weekend. If I was going to point out somebody, Blake Drury was pretty anonymous against Port Adelaide, and last week when he did get the ball, I don't think he was super clean and maybe just, a little bit anonymous. Don't have anything against Blake Drury. I really want to see him succeed, but maybe just another spell on the 2s to bring in someone with some more productivity, and bringing in a Cooper Harvey would have been fun after his 5 goals. But Brett Ratton in the press conference today did say he's probably still a couple of weeks away. And Daniel Howe for Ben Cunnington was the last one I suggested. Howe was fine. Howe didn't play badly at all. Someone, I read in a comment on Facebook, which is clearly not something to take super seriously, but someone said, Howe was amazing. And I think putting Daniel Howe and amazing in the same sentence is criminal. But he was fine. He was serviceable. I guess as the sub, it's okay. But, he'll lose us a game as much as he'll come on and be solid. So not a long-term guy in this team for me. And would obviously play Cunnington over him. But played it right last week. Doesn't deserve to get dropped. But long-term, I'm a bit iffy on it. I guess the other big talking point is Taryn Thomas. Now, we all know my opinions on this. I did talk to Marnie about it, and I talked to Admin 2 last week, or on Monday, sorry. And I wouldn't hate to see Taryn named in this team. It doesn't excuse any of the things he's alleged to do, but should a young man get a second chance? Absolutely. As long as Jen Watt and Sonia Hood have ticked all those boxes for him. And I did say to Marnie, having two, female high-ups monitoring his situation gives me faith to know if they've ticked it off, then we should all be okay with it. And we also need players like him in our side. We need as much talent as we can get. So I'd be happy to see Taryn in the team. I hope he's turned his life around. He can have a good career and he can put all this behind him. But I do think it will be a couple of weeks until he's available for selection. I think, Brett Ratton and everyone is smart enough to know that, putting him in is going to cause a media swirl, and that's not what we need right now. To add on to the Clarkson stuff, So, look, I'd like to see Taryn in the next couple of weeks, but I understand if people feel differently about that, each to their own. So that's the team. Who would I bring in and bring out? I think I'd just bring in Zerha for Liam Shields, to be honest. Maybe Cunnington for Blake Drury. But other than that, everyone holds their space. Eddie Ford, fantastic. Will Phillips was really good. Paul Curtis keeps his spot. My guy, CCJ, let's have another game like that, back to back. I've just noticed on the sheet that they've read out, Daniel Howe's named on the wing. So does that mean he's definitely playing? Oh, okay. That makes me feel different. I'll give him a chance, but I don't know. I could see him having a shocker against the Pies with all the pressure they're going to put on, but we'll see. I just really hope Aiden Core isn't back in the team, and not because I'm not a big fan of Aiden Core, but I think our defense looks so much better. Logue, Mackay, and Zeeble all play as a big. McDonald isn't like a small. It just looked so much more balanced. So I would really not like to see Aiden Core walk straight back into this team without earning his spot back, because I think he's been pretty suspect and, should have definitely not been in the team a few weeks ago. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, can we win? No. I did say this last week, though, against the Swans. No, actually, you know what? I think I was fairly bullish against that. Like, I know that the Swans had a lot of players out, but we've got 15 to West Coast, 17 injuries at the moment, so we're right there with them. Good to get Zerha back in. I just want to see a performance like last week. I want these young guys to do the work again. I don't want Goldie and Zeeble having to step up and show us how to play. I want Phillips and Wardlaw and Sheasel and CCJ and Bailey Scott, Miller Bergman. I want those guys to lead the way like they did against the Swans. So if we can play like that, show what we've got in the future, and keep it respectable around the 30-point mark, I think that's a pretty good day out for what we can realistically expect. If we knock them off, I'm going to be the most arrogant guy for the next week, because we deserve it, and we deserve to brag when these times come along. It's nearly sold out. I think the game is sold out. Apparently there's only standing room left. Is that all of the North fans getting down to see us do the Pies on the weekend? Jeez, I hope so. But the main event, as we know, is not Steel Sidebottom's 300th game. It's Mason Cox's 100th game and Jaden Stevenson's 100th game. That's what the real attraction is. Stevo number 1, Mason Cox number 2, and I Steel, whatever his name is, never heard of him. So, yeah, look, the Pies are playing unreal footy. They're premiership favourites by far. Them and maybe Brisbane. I just want to show up, not play badly, not get absolutely pummeled, and that's the best we can really hope for, guys. And I don't think that's a negative thing to say. I'm saying this out of pure positivity. And, let's keep it realistic here. I'd be pretty happy with that result I said before. Other than that, for the game, not really too much to talk about, to be honest. Let's do some tips for the other games this week. Who have we got on Friday night? The Swannies, who we nearly knocked off. Apparently a hard-fought win, I think Buddy Franklin said, for the game against us last week. A hard-fought win. And he celebrated when they got that free kick like an absolute wanker, didn't he? So, hard-fought win. That was a funny one. What did you guys think of that? Please comment and message me what you guys thought of Buddy calling it a hard-fought win when they won like that. Who wins, Blues or Swans? It's at the SCG. Oh, do we keep making the Blues season even worse? Do I tip the Swans? Blues are favourites. The Blues have to answer, don't they, against a depleted Swans team. If we nearly beat the Swans, the Blues should be winning. I'm going to back the Blues, but I'm not confident. St Kilda and Hawthorn, the Saints will win that one. I mean, Hawthorn maybe hit form now, and they're out of the Harley Reid race. So, geez, that was a crazy game, wasn't it? I think the Saints will win, but the Hawks are plucky and they hang around. The D's and the Dockers. I'll back in the D's because they need to bounce back, but they're playing some up and down footy at the moment. Cats Giants, man, I would love the Giants to get up. I'm tipping the Giants in an upset here. I think the Cats will either beat them by 100 or lose by 15. So I'm going to tip the Giants as an upset here. Gold Coast and the Western Bulldogs at TIO. What stadium is that? TIO Stadium. Why do I not know where that is? Is that like that weird Canberra one? Or like, are they playing somewhere else? Who cares? Anyway, Bulldogs will win that. Essendon Eagles, my God, the Eagles will not win another game for the rest of the year. Essendon in that one. Port Tigers. I would love the Tigers to get up here. Richmond, I can't stand you lot. We're going to beat you again this year when we play, but please do a job on these posers and get us a bit of draft pick. Send them down the ladder a bit. And the last game other than North and Collingwood is the Crows and the Lions. The Lions win that one if they're really going to be premiership favourites. So, yeah, it might be a close game being in Adelaide, but I think the Lions win that one. In some other good news this week, George Wardlaw has signed on along with Harry Sheasel. Isn't it good when a young player wants to commit to a club, put in effort, and not lie and manipulate the club straight to their face? No one in particular I'm talking about, just in general. So I think that's a really good thing. Well done, North, for locking in these guys. Wardlaw looks like an absolute weapon after that game. I hope he backs it up. Great to get these guys locked in for a long, long time. Other than that, I don't know. No word on Clarkson yet. I hope he's putting his feet up somewhere and just forgetting about football. Ratton, did anyone see that little video they posted of Ratton at training? I don't know. There's something nice about that. He just seems like a good bloke, doesn't he? So we're pretty lucky to have Brett Ratton as our assistant and being able to step in this time when Clarko's away. So just remember, he's just keeping the seat warm for Clarko, he likes to say. It's crazy how many people have come into the barbershop and have told me, oh, Clarko left. What are the media reporting? I haven't read any media articles on this. I've only looked at what Sonia's sort of said and what Brett Ratton has said in the press conferences. But people genuinely think that Clarkson has left. So please correct all of your footy mates about this. We know what's happening. He'll be back soon. But yeah, other than that, not really too much to talk about, guys. A really quick preview podcast. Cooper Harvey kicked 5. Hopefully he gets a spot in the next couple of weeks. Brett Ratton did say a couple of weeks away. Taryn might get a game. Other than that, yeah, quiet week. Not many things to talk about with North, but after all the controversies and things going on surrounding us the last year, that's good. I'll have a quiet week on the track after a decent performance. So, yeah, let's see how we turn up against the Pies. If you've got a ticket, good luck in there. And And yeah, hopefully we get a win, but not likely. Let's just hope we turn up and perform because we want to see the future of the Roos. And look, I gushed over Wardlaw a little bit last week. This guy is a future captain. Look, Jai's going to be around for a long, long time, but I don't know. He screams leader to me. Maybe that's more what I'm trying to say. Wardlaw screams leader to me, and I really do believe that his performance lifted the rest of the team. So, yeah, he's exciting, isn't he? I hope he plays well. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in again. I posted the obscure player of the week. How have I forgotten this? All right. Daniel Pratt is the obscure player of the week. Do you guys remember Daniel Pratt? And I posted up on Instagram. I said, what's your best Daniel Pratt memory? Nothing to do with rubber chicken. No rubber chicken related comments here, please. And Hunter_Dwyer33 said, probably the goal from behind 50 against Port, as seen in that image. I don't remember that one, but if he's bagged a goal from outside 50, he deserves a celebration as a defender. And Jordan Knight says, he gave me a footy after a win. That's so nice. Daniel Pratt. I haven't thought about Daniel Pratt for so long. I think I got a couple of comments here as well. Bailey Tyson _ on Instagram says, pretty sure Pratty was the first one to get pinged deliberate rush behind against Essendon round 1 at Etihad when they implemented that rule. Apart from that, his tough attack and loved giving away a 50. He did, didn't he? And Harley Harbour says, what an absolute beast in our backline. He was good, wasn't he? He was just a solid guy. He reminds me a lot of like a Luke McDonald or something. Maybe, he's probably a harder nut. Gets stuck in a little bit more. But that, he wasn't a small, he wasn't a tall, and sort of played that in-between role. I'll just double-check the Facebook, and we'll see if we've got any more huge Daniel Pratt memories. And then we can go home, go to sleep, go to bed. Because it's getting late here, guys. I tell you what, I've just got home from work, and I need to go and eat dinner. All right, Facebook, Paul Albergo says underrated with an exclamation mark. Yeah, I think he was a bit underrated too. Lots of reacts on the Facebook thing. 6 likes, 4 laughing face emojis, and 1 heart. That's so nice. Jordan Cugnetto has hearted Daniel Pratt, clearly his favourite player of all time. So there it is, guys. Another preview in the books. Thank you for tuning in once again. And, of course, we'll be back on Monday with the main podcast. Don't know if I've got a guest or anything lined up. I can ask around, but maybe you'll just have to listen to me chat. Hopefully a good performance. Hopefully a win. Minimum a good performance is what I want to see. And, yeah, let's drown out those pies at our home ground. Get down there, guys. See you again soon. Talk to you Monday.